Greetings and welcome to another exciting episode of In Conversation. My name is Bongani Mncube, and today I'm joined in studio by a person who I'd like to say she's a contemporary Mbogodo, a person who has achieved great success at the very young age. I'm talking about Dr. Thandiwe Sithole. Dr. Thandiwe, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, Bongani. Thank you for your invite, and thank you so much for having me in the show.
Thank you. Well, you recently, you're a doctor now, right?
Yes.
And I think my first question would be, how does it feel to finally have that title, to be called doctor?
For me, I think the title for me is just a title, but a PhD is, for me, it's fulfilling because it's something that I wanted to do for a very longest time because of the type of people that I met along the way who instilled in me the keen curiosity about scientific phenomenon. And it is an achievement. People from outside, they are saying it's an achievement, but for me, it's more of, I would say an achievement as well, or on my side. And I am fulfilled. I am happy that I went through the journey of obtaining my PhD. So I really feel good about it, and that I am actually using it at my workplace. That says a lot.
Can you take me a little bit back? So who is Dr. Thandiwe Sithole?
Dr. Thandiwe Sithole. Okay, Dr. Thandiwe Sithole, I come from Soshanguve, in the outskirts of Pretoria, in a township called Soshanguve. I was born in Pretoria, but not in Soshanguve, in another part of Soshanguve. Then with my family, we moved to Mpumalanga for a year, and then came back to Soshanguve. To Sosha. Yeah. So Sosha it's a township, and for me, I'm not from a well-off background. I'm one of those kids that people are surprised even today what is going on. Because I actually lost my parents at a very tender age. I lost my father when I was told I was months old or a year, somewhere there. And then I lost my mother when I was 12 years old. So I was raised by my grandmother. She took full, responsibility to raise the woman that I am today. Of course, with the help of my family. I'm the only child from my mother's side.
Yes.
But I had cousins who assisted me along the way. I had family members, my aunt Pauline Sithole, and also my other aunt Popi Mahlangu, and my grandmother Sarah Sithole, who really played a critical or crucial role for the woman I am today. I am because of them. And we at home, we really were, what do I mean when I say I'm not from a well-off background, right? So my grandmother relied on the foster care child grant, the SASSA grant for people who don't have parents, and also was selling, at home we had a, what do you call it? Sportsonyana, so I don't know what do you call it in English, where she was just selling 2 cases of beer and also
a tavern setting.
No, not a tavern.
It doesn't have a tavern. Okay.
No, you don't call it a tavern. It's sports. It's
small.
Smolanyana, chila, sinyana, and all that. Yes, we call it sports. So I don't know what is that in English, but it's not. I think it's not a. It's not a tavern. Tavern is big.
It's big. Yes, it's a sport.
So we knew who's gonna come on this day, and so that's how small it was. As I've said, that we were dependent on the foster care grant, but my aunts will also give me some money so that I can I can have something to eat at home. But I remember there were times when things were bad, where you have to wait for the neighbors' chickens to actually lay eggs in order for you to have a decent meal. And I told myself that this is not a life that I want to live. Something has to be done. But I think what built me is my mother's words that kept me going in life. My mother, before she transitioned to the other side, she said to me, my daughter, I think the only way out of this poverty, right? Get yourself education. And I kept those words with me wherever I was. I kept those words. I remember when I was doing my second year, right, in my studies, I failed drawing. And then I decided, maybe I need to go and get myself a job somewhere as a cashier and so forth, because things were really not okay. That's when I met Prof Sithole, who was really surprised that I was consistent. I was coming to class and so forth, but why did I fail? And he called me into to his office, and that's when I said to him that I don't blame anyone for failing, but I think for me it has to do that sometimes I get demotivated because of the situationship, the way things are at home. And from when we talk about destiny helpers, Prof Sithole is one of them. Started to sympathize with me, told me that, when someone is telling you that in future, I see you driving, I see you doing this, you don't believe those things because you don't see yourself in that. And sometimes when you don't have someone that you look up to, it becomes a problem. I mean, I'm from Soshanguve. Soshanguve is known of what? Nyaupe, drugs, alcohol, and so forth. So most of us, we don't have people that we can relate to, people that we can look up to say, one day I want to be like this person and so forth. But with me, I think my mother's words, they kept me. Because I remember I went to Tshwane University of Technology. I didn't apply. I just went there to find out how to get things done. That's why I do lots of these outreaches, because we tend to assume that people they can they can find information or they have knowledge about how to apply at the University of Johannesburg and so forth. So with me, I didn't know. But at my high school, there was a guy by the name Scalo who was working as a chemical engineer. He's actually the one who instilled in me that, maybe I should consider becoming a chemical engineer, because he was so passionate about what he was doing. By then he was working for SASO, so he would just take a break, take leave from work during our school holidays to come and give back. How? Teaching us maths and science, chemistry and physics. And we did very, very, very well. That's when I decided that I think I want to become a chemical engineer, because I was not really exposed to a lot of careers out there. I've never went to a career day where a person will tell me that you can become an accountant, you can become a chemical engineer, you can become a mechanical engineer or an actual scientist. So the person that I was close to at that time was Carlo, who was a chemical engineer. And that's when I decided that because of his passion about chemical engineering, I decided that, you know what, I'm going to do chemical engineering. I passed my matric well, went to the university, and I remember I didn't have any money with me. I just went there, to find out how things work, And when I got there, and then they asked me, during those times there's a long queue, eh? It's not like now where you have online and everything. It was a long queue. I remember some lady came to me and asked me, what course do you want to do? I said, I want to do chemical engineering. And she took my results and she gave me an application form. I applied. I told the lady, I don't even have money to pay for this application fee. Then I called one of my aunts to assist me, and then she deposited the money for me. Then now, money for registration, I remember registration by then, it was like 1,500 by then. I didn't have that kind of money. I didn't know about NFSAS by then. I was like, okay, the lady was like, do you have money to register? I'm like, no, I don't have money to register. It's like, okay, go to NFSAS. With me, I thought that, it was just offices there. You'll just go in and then submit your application, and that's it. When I got there, the queue is very long. And people are telling me that some of them are actually sleeping there, And then I was with my cousin who is close to me. I refer her as my sister. So we decided that no, we're gonna come tomorrow. 3 a.m. will be on the queue. And yeah, around 4 a.m. I think we were on the queue, and they processed my stuff, and voila, there I am. They gave me a loan. By then it was not bursaries, it was loans. So they gave me a loan. I was excited. Registered. Oh, now I have to start. But I didn't have accommodation, meaning that I need to travel from Soshanguve to the CBD to attend classes. But by the grace of God, God provided. You meet people on the way who really, if you are into something and you are intentional about it, they can see it. And they are there to support your vision and all that. And Prof. Cele is one of those people. My aunts as well are one of those people. So I'm really grateful for their support, for their unwavering support to this day.
Coming into a university setting, you're doing your first year. Has a PhD always been in the pipeline for you?
No. Bongani, to tell you the truth, no, I've never seen myself as a doctor. As I've indicated previously, that I have met people along the way who are mentors, who are friends, who have PhDs, who instilled in me the keen curiosity about scientific phenomenon. So when I started with my diploma in chemical engineering, I finished it, I went to industry, right? Then okay, I was not happy with the setting at industry, wearing hard hats, PPEs and all that. And the fact that I was working in the Bundus, I was not happy because I was working for Anglo-American by that time. Yeah, that's where I got my exposure, by the way. Then I got an opportunity to further my studies in a form of a sponsorship to come and do my BTech. Then I came back. I left industry. I came back. I did my BTech, and there was one subject which I really fell in love with. That subject, which is the research project, right? So I was given a research project. The topic was on wastewater treatment, and I fell in love with the project to such an extent that every day I would read an article about wastewater treatment, and then I fell in love. That's where the love of research began. Then, okay, I passed it with a distinction, of course, because it was one of the subjects which was close to me. The reason for that was that I was born and bred in the outskirts of Soshanguve, right? Of which there's a lot of water pollution, So when I was given this project, it was really close to my heart, and I really put much work in it so that it can work. And out of that project, I managed to publish a paper out of that work, of which it's not common for a person who's doing an undergrad qualification to publish an article in a peer-reviewed journal. Then once I finished with that, I actually did I was presented with an opportunity to further my studies, to do my master's, and my master's was on wastewater treatment, of which it was a building research based on the project that I was given for my undergrad. As I usually tell people, with me, I'm a product of the opportunities which were presented to me. So because I love research, I am passionate about research, I don't see myself doing routine work. I don't see myself as that kind of a person. So yeah, I finished my master's, then I moved to PhD. The reason why I did my PhD was because I was presented with an opportunity where I got the NRF scholarship to pursue PhD. And what I like about my PhD is that I think I was one of the fortunate PhD candidates by then, of which the type of research or the type of project that I proposed to my supervisors was interdisciplinary, was multidisciplinary. What do I mean by that? I mean that it was a bit of civil engineering, it was a bit of chemical engineering, it was a bit of artificial neural network, which forms part of Fourth Industrial Revolution. It was more of chemistry and geology. So for me, I think, I enjoyed my PhD journey. I enjoyed all the, I took all the opportunities that were presented to me, and that yielded to have a PhD at the age of 28. So I never stopped studying from undergrad until PhD, because I was inspired. One person that inspired me was my mentor then, who is Professor Cele, who's working at Tshwane University of Technology now, who actually is the one who ensured that he secures space for me to come at the University of Johannesburg to further my studies. And thank you for that, Prof. Cele. Really appreciate it to this day. Thank you for the support. Yeah.
Wow. I'm sure he's just very proud, especially with where you are today.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
He actually says that, so we have meetings quite often, me and him, and yeah, he really, tells me that he's proud of the person that I have become. Coming to think of, I'm not from a well-off family, yeah.
And surely you are proud of yourself as well. I think you must have stated when you look
I
in the mirror, like, who's boss, eh? You literally...
I am. I think the journey to a PhD, what it really did for me, I was a person who lacked confidence. So during this journey, I managed to build up my confidence, and obtaining the highest NQF level 10, it really, boosted my confidence that much that anything is possible in this world. You can become anything regardless of your background. You can be regardless whether you have parents or not. The world is your oyster.
Your oyster. The world is yours. Yeah. So just a bit on that. What would you say is the importance of research at a personal capacity and for the society at large?
So I think I like, actually, before I answer that question, I like one of the VCs. I think the VC talks about societal impact, and I look at the type of work which I am doing. So the type of work that I am doing in my research group, the entire research group, because we have a research group. So the type of work that we are doing, we are actually working in a space of circular economy. We are working in a space of waste valorization. I'll explain that just now. We also work in a space of waste beneficiation, and also byproducts from industry. And also we do wastewater treatment research. We also do, what else? What else do we do?
Big portfolio.
Anything to do with waste that you can think of. And also we incorporate in our projects, what we do, we incorporate Fourth Industrial Revolution, right? So the work, basically the work that we are doing, we are trying to come up or develop value-added products from waste material. And I think 2 years ago, we came up with an IP, right, which is a prototype, right, of which in that IP we came up with an invention of coming up with different building and construction material that are made out of plastic waste and also the waste that is generated by different industries. So the type of waste that we are dealing with, you have fly ash, you have different types of slags, you have our waste foundry sand, of which most of the foundries in South Africa, they don't even know what to do with their waste. So what we are trying to come up with value-added product from this waste, right? So with this IP that we came up with, so what we want to do, we would like to commercialize it, because in order for us to do research that has societal impact, the only way we can address the issues that the society or the challenges that societies are facing is through, in my research, it is through when we can commercialize this IPs or the research that we are doing, or the invention that we come up with. So what we have developed, as I said, we have developed different building and construction material, such as your roof tiles, such as your pavement blocks, such as your building bricks, right, out of this waste. So the idea, what we want to do, we want to enter the space of low-cost housing, because you know that housing in South Africa, it is a challenge. So with this low-cost materials that we have produced, the building and construction materials that we have produced, we can actually commercialize, because we have proven that this technology can work, you know. So yeah, we are actually looking for funding to commercialize that. So that's where we are. So when we talk about societal impact, that's what we do. And also reflecting back, looking at my PhD project, it was more of a community-based project, right? So in South Africa, we are dealing with the issue of wastewater.
Yes.
One of the wastewater that we have is a typical stream that is called acid mine drainage. So this is water that is generated by the mines. There is mines in Joburg that were shut down, that were closed, yes, right? So there is water underground. That water is contaminated with heavy metals and it's acidic, right? And I remember I read an article about Soweto, that they have a challenge. They don't know where this water is coming from. It's coming from underground, of which one of the membranes that we have developed can really address their issues. It's an ongoing project, obviously, so we hope that it's one of the technologies that we can take out there to assist our community. And also the research that we are doing, when you look at it, it talks to the sustainable development goals. You cannot talk about societal impact without mentioning the sustainable development goals. So I look at the type of work which I am doing on circular economy, because most of the industries out there, because I believe that as researchers, right, we need to work hand in hand with industry. Industry has a lot of challenges, many challenges in industry. And us as researchers, us as academics, we have solutions, but the solutions that we are having are actually archived in libraries. You know, you just get a publication and then that's so we just want to change that. We want to change the narrative so that we can work hand in hand and see how we can assist each other. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Sorry, I even forgot the question.
No. I'm feeling passion in what you're saying, because everything is intertwined, and the societal impact. You did answer my question in all great text, and even went beyond, because I got more clarity and the much work that society is actually benefiting from such research that you guys are doing.
Exactly.
So, take me to the actual dissertation that made you win the NRF Research Excellence Award for early career researchers in engineering.
Yeah. Just Bongani, just to correct you there, it's not a dissertation. that made me win the award, but the research itself, which I'm doing.
My bad. Take me through.
So, as I've explained,
Yes.
that the research which I am doing, it speaks more about societal impact, sustainable development goals. You talk about circular economy. Circular economy is a big topic in the world, you know, and most of the companies, what they are trying to do now, they are trying to incorporate the circular economy. But the question is how? So that is just the space that we are operating in. To say industry, we have solutions. We can assist you on how you can make your processes to be circular. Because one of the objectives in my research group, which is waste valorization, circular economy, wastewater treatment, is to come up with a zero discharge model to offset societal needs in the sustainable construction sector. So that is one of the objectives. So what made me win the award, I think, is the type of research which I am doing. Your first question, I spoke about, what did I speak about? Okay, I spoke about the multidisciplinary and interdisciplinary research. I believe that these are the two key factors, and also collaboration, that made me to win. To be an emerging researcher, right? Because I believe that in order for us to really operate on a global scale, it's through unity, and also it's through collaboration. It's when a chemical engineer like myself can work with an accountant, can work with an actuarial scientist to come together. That's when wonderful things can happen. First of all, I think, wonderful things can happen through that. And also, if we really want to foster creativity and innovation, we ought to collaborate. I'm collaborating within the University of Johannesburg. I'm collaborating with civil engineering. I'm collaborating with chemistry. I'm collaborating with, metallurgy department. So more will come, because that's where I believe that if we really want to foster creativity and innovation, we ought to work together. Yeah.
Yes. Interesting, because literally it's teamwork makes dream work. And if you have experts from various industries, therefore you have greater knowledge and you can have many implementation.
And I think my research also speaks to the National Development Plan in terms of housing as well. Also, it speaks about cleaner and healthier environment, which has to do with environmental sustainability. So the type of research which I am doing, it's more of how do I put this? It's more practical. It's practical research of which you can apply it anywhere in different disciplines.
Yes. Has there been notable applications of your findings or your researches?
Exactly. One of them, I just discussed them now, which is the IP. The IP that I spoke about, that we really came up with different building and construction material from plastic waste and waste that is generated by industry, where we developed roof tiles, we developed pavement blocks and building bricks. Who does that? That is great. And we have one, by the way, in the pipeline, the IP, which is coming, where we came up with a cementatious material that has a potential to replace cement, which I believe that will be a game changer in the industry, because it's green cement. The process of producing it is more greener. There is no carbon dioxide emissions that are produced from it. So yeah, watch the space. It's one of the IP that is coming up, and it could really assist people who are impoverished, because it's going to be low cost. It's going to be low cost. So it's one of the projects that we invested so much time to come up with. A cementitious material that we can really use in low-cost housing. Not really low-cost housing, but we can do mass production of that cement, of which it can be purchased in one of the, or what do you call it, like cash build and all.
The future does look bright, I must say. I must say. I must say. So,
yes.
as a researcher and above the projects that you have mentioned thus far, what are your future plans and goals in terms of research and contribution in your field and society at large as well, still in line with what you were saying?
I think I will continue doing more research because that's what I am passionate about. Do more research. Obviously, now publication has become organic, but I want to get into a space of publishing books. I haven't published a book, so that would be really an achievement for me to publish books. And also, as I've indicated, that we want to be in a space of commercializing. We cannot afford to do research and prove that this is not working, but it's not out there because we have issues of unemployed graduates, right? How do we then assist the government as an institution to address such issues? Is through entrepreneurial education, because we have so many engineers who knows how to do research, but entrepreneurial research. How do you commercialize this research to ensure that we have companies that will hire this unemployed graduates and so forth. So that is one project that is close to my heart, and I believe it's going to be a success. Yeah.
It should be.
Yeah.
It's very inspiring. It's very inspiring. Which also takes me to my last question. What would be your message to an upcoming researcher? I'm talking about people still doing their honors, their masters, postgraduates, who are also looking to venture into to be researchers in actual field and wish to make a difference.
For me, I think if you are doing your master's and PhD, you are already a researcher.
Not upcoming. You're already
you are already doing the research.
Yeah,
so
true.
You're not, unless if you're saying how do you become an established or an emerging researcher,
True.
that's a different story. So if, like you yourself, we had a discussion before this interview that you're doing your master's,
True.
of which is research based. I think as I shared my advice with you, that I think you need to take time to understand, the research that you are doing, the field that you are in, because there will come a time in your life, especially after PhD, there will come a time when you need to cut the umbilical cord between you and your supervisor, and you do your own research. So you really need to take time, immerse yourself in research, and make sure that you understand what you are doing, so that post PhD you won't have problems to come up with innovative projects that can assist the world, which are aligned to sustainable development goals, which are aligned to societal impact as well. So keep going. Those who are doing their masters and PhD, I know that the road is not easy, but keep on going. I remember there was a time when I was doing my PhD. Everything was not working out. And I remember I went to my colleague, a very close colleague of mine, and I said, I don't think this thing is for me. It was really tough. And, she said something really, even today, I'm amazed. He said, Thandiwe, congratulations, you have actually started your PhD now.
Wow.
I've actually started your PhD now, So we all go through those challenges. But what will make you stand is you don't need to give up. You don't need to give in to say this is difficult and all that. You will overcome.
Well, personally, I've drank from a well of knowledge. You've rejuvenated my aspirations. Well, thank you so much for this conversation. Really appreciate it. Well, I have to also give you the platform. Is there anything you wish to add to this conversation?
Yes, definitely. I'll take advantage of this media. I'm available. People are out there, researchers out there. I am available for collaboration, and you can reach out to me. My email address is nastasias@uj.ac.za. Any sort of collaboration, whether it's commercialization, waste valorization, circular economy, I'm available with that. So thank you. Please don't hesitate to reach out to me if you want to collaborate, because as I've indicated, that is through collaboration that wonderful things can happen, and we can foster creativity and innovation through collaboration. Thank you.
Fantastic. I'm sure your emails are going to be buzzing to this.
And thank you so much for having me in the show. Much appreciated.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This was our conversation with Dr. Thandiwe. Thank you so much for tuning in. Catch you on the next episode.
The University of Johannesburg, the future reimagined.